Are you a Concord resident?
I am not, but I work at Concord High School.
How long have you been working at Concord High?
I think 10 years. 9.5, 10 years.
When and where were you born?
I was born in upstate New York, April 30th, 1965.
Where did you grow up?
In upstate New York, in a little town called Ballston Spa, New York.
Ooh. What was it like growing up there?
It was beautiful. It was this adorable little town. There were a lot of Italian families there, and I went to a Catholic elementary and middle school. It was just a very lovely little place. All my cousins were around. My grandmother lived in the same town. It was a nice little place to grow up.
How would you say it's different from Concord?
Much smaller, and it was 54 years ago, so it's definitely, even when I go back now, it's bigger. There are more shops and things, but it's smaller than Concord.
Where is your mom's family from?
So my mom's family is from Sicily and Syria. So my maternal grandmother is from Syria, and my maternal grandfather is from Sicily.
Have you ever been to any of those places?
Yes, so I've been to Sicily. I was very close to Syria. I went to Beirut, Lebanon, and I was right on the border. And I was tempted to have the taxi driver take me across the border into Syria, but then I got scared. So I didn't.
What was the experience like?
When I was in Beirut, Lebanon, I felt like I had been there before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. I felt like I was home. I was like, I feel like I've been here before. I recognize this building. I don't know. It just was a very weird sensation. Yeah, I just felt like I'd been there before.
And where's your dad's family from?
So my dad's family is from Naples, Italy, in a little village called Caserta.
Have you ever been to Italy before?
I have, lots of times.
What was the experience?
So it was very fun. So Naples, when I went there, was a little like, what's the word? It's not very fancy. And then I went to Florence, and it was very fancy. And I came home and I said to my dad, I said, I think I'm from Florence and not Naples. Because Florence is very fancy. Naples, not so much.
What is your ethnicity?
So I'm Italian and Syrian.
Awesome. What brought your family over to Concord, New Hampshire, like New Hampshire in general?
So that's really funny. So I went to, my eldest sister was first in New Hampshire. And then I went to New England College. And but then I love New Hampshire, and then I moved to Chicago and India, and then I kind of crisscrossed the globe. But then I came back to New Hampshire 10 years ago and said I'll stay if I find something interesting after I got my social work degree. And I found out that Concord was a refugee resettlement site, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'll stay here.
And how is it working in Concord?
It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. It's a very welcoming, inclusive. I mean, I love Concord High School, and I love Concord, so it's a great place.
What surprises you about Concord?
The fact that everyone is very welcoming. I just have to do a suggestion of let's do a Diwali party, and then everybody's excited to do it, or come to International Night, and they're so excited to learn. And I also appreciate, like, I just returned from a baby naming ceremony, so I appreciate being invited to do these very special things with families that I've met.
Do you have any children?
I know I have 160. Actually 180, because no one ever leaves, right? Because even though they graduate and they're in college. So no, I don't have any biological children. I'm an auntie, but I count all of my kids at Concord High my children.
What does the word family mean to you?
Oh, family is love and connection and safety and security. Confidence, a place of growth and warmth, a place where you can be yourself. But it also doesn't have to be biological either. It can be, friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is your definition of happiness?
Oh, wow. I think like right now, I have the greatest job in the world. I am married to an amazing man. I have lovely family. As a matter of fact, my whole family is here visiting. I have great friends. I'm healthy. I think right now.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is that the United States will not allow more refugees into this country. We are a very great nation, and I've been doing this long enough to see the trends. You know, at one point we were accepting up to 110,000 refugees into this country, and now we have 20,000, I think. So my greatest fear is that the number of displaced people is going to increase, and the big wealthy countries that can absorb or that can help transition and help people, we're not going to do it. So I would say that is my greatest fear.
What is your greatest hope?
that we have a change in policy, and it happens pretty quickly, and we get back to welcoming new arrivals to our country. I mean, you know, fortunately, when my grandfather came here, it was a very welcoming place. You know, there was no, oh, you don't speak a language, you can't come, or, you know, there was none of that. So,
Awesome. So that was it for questions.
Nice.